Hello, 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 Blue Jay fans. Man, this is awesome. So this is my first live. No, it's not true. I made a couple of live videos a couple of years ago. Um, I'm not sure my video is moving. If somebody could let me know, maybe it doesn't matter too much because I'm just talking. Anyways, I made a couple of live videos on this channel a couple of years ago, but here we are again. Um, as you guys can see, and maybe you've seen in some of my tweets, I got a pretty severe disability. So yeah. Um, okay, this is not good. There's nothing playing. Ah, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know what is going on with my camera. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Gonna see if I can get this underway. You know what? Maybe I could just play some video in the background and I can just talk. You don't have to see my ugly face. There we go. Testing. There we go. Testing. Okay. Now that I've lost every single viewer, it's all good in the hood. All right. So Jay's preview. Guys, I can't get my video working, but we got some highlights going in the background. If you hear the breathing noise, yeah, that's right. If you see any of my pictures online, I use a breathing machine. I'm got a severe physical disability, but I still love the Jays, and so do you. So that's why we're here. Season preview. I want to go position by position essentially and compare ourselves to last year because what a lot of people are wondering is, are we better than last year? Are we actually better than the 91 win team? Because we lost Robbie Ray, we lost Marcus Simeon, but I contend we're better than the team last year. And by last year, what does that mean? The beginning of the season, end of the season, or as a whole? And I'm talking as a whole because the team at the beginning of the year was very different, and the end one at the end of the year, and it's different to the team we have now as well. So let's just start off through the diamonds 1 through 9. Uh, except we're gonna do the pitching after. So 2 catching. I think our catching is better than last year. We got rid of Reese McGuire, and I don't think we're gonna see much of the new guy at all, which I think is good because I don't think either of them can hit, and the new guy is no good defensively. Danny Jansen is really good defensively. He's got some pop, and I think when he just tries to, wait for his pitch, have a bit of patience, and mash, he's going to do all right. He's not going to hit for an high average, but he'll take his fair share of walks and mash some baseballs from time to time. And then Alejandro Kirk. Last year, Alejandro Kirk played not a lot of games, summer games, half the games, spent some time injured. Now, his defense isn't so great, so I think mostly he's our DH now, and he'll catch once or twice a week. But I see Alejandro Kirk putting up a 300 batting average this year, 15 to 20 home runs, and I think that's a huge improvement over what the guys who technically play catcher did last year. Okay, first base. First base, let's be honest. Vladdy is Vladdy, and he's our daddy. Like, he's going to be friggin' great this year, regardless. Um, he was great last year. The only thing I can see this year is maybe the power comes down just a little bit because 48 bombs is ridiculous. But I could see his average go up. Yeah, from 300, I could see it go up. I could see his on base percentage go up. So while he might not hit 48 bombs, I could see him hit 320 and on base 420, 430. I think Vladdy is up for another MVP type season. All right, on the second base, are we better or worse than last year? Obviously, we're worse, but are we that much worse? Marcus Simeon had a 6-4 season and was an MVP candidate. But what we're expecting from Espinal and Biggio are, I think, improvements from both of them because Biggio was injured and, quite frankly, not very good last year. I think we'll see him play much better offensively and defensively now that he's not ever going to be at third base. He's going to play better defense at second. He'll pick up some time at first, left, right, who knows. I could see a 2.5 win season from Biggio. Espinal, he had 300 last year with very little power, 2 home runs. Honestly, I could see Espinal hitting maybe slightly lower average. We saw that he had a high batting average on balls in play, and that's usually not sustainable. But if he could hit 270, 280, and bring his home run total up to 15, and Biggio has 15 and has a good on base, I could see both players having about 2.5 WAR. Now, is that as high as Simeon's 6 something? No, but 5 for a second baseman? Oh, that's good. Shortstop. Last year, Bo Bichette was pretty darn good. 29 dingers, like 28 stolen bases, something like that. Drove in 100. I really could see Bo Bichette improving. Maybe not with so many more home runs, maybe a handful of more home runs, but I could see Bo Bichette putting up a higher batting average and a higher on base. He's on base with 340 last year. And him hitting in front of Vladimir Guerrero, I could see Bo Bichette very easily putting up a 300 batting average, but an on base percentage of 360, 365. And with 20 stolen bases or more, 25 home runs or more, that's a damn good season from our shortstop. Now, moving on to third base. And this is probably where we improved the most because when Espinal was in, we had an above average glove, but a below average bat for that position. And when Biggio was in, below average. And Valera, as much as he hit a couple of clutch home runs, Valera's a 4A player. We got Matt freaking Chapman. And if this guy goes back to even 70% of what he was in 2019 compared to last year in 2021, this guy is putting up a 5 or a 6 win season. He could easily hit 35, 40 home runs at Rogers Center. Like he hit 30 last year playing in the vacuous space of Oakland Coliseum. And average was 210, but his on base was still above 330, I believe. I truly believe Matt Chapman could put up 40 home runs, 265 batting average, and a 380 on base. You know what those types of numbers are? MVP, MVP, MVP. Plus, we know he gives us gold glove defense at third base. And most of the year, if it wasn't Espinal, we were severely lacking in defense at third base. All right, now let's go to the outfield. Right field. Well, what can you say about Teoscar Hernandez? Every year, the guy just seems to get a bit better and a bit better. Last year, it was over 30 home runs, more than 100 runs batted in. The guy still improved upon his mediocre defense, but he's not a huge liability out there. And he always seems to protect Vladdy pretty darn well. Um, he won Silver Slugger the last couple of years. I see no reason why Teo can't do it again. So when it comes to right field, I think we're just as good as last year. So in every position so far, we are almost as good, if not better. And second base, we're a little bit worse. But so far, everyone else is better or the same. Center field, George Springer. The dude played less than 80 games last year and smashed 22 home runs. And this guy, do you remember? Like, he would go on crazy hot streaks. But do you remember how every time he played through injury, he'd hit 220? He'd have no extra base power. And that would be for 2 weeks at a time sometimes. So even with missing time and missing a ton of ability, when he did play, say, 30, 40 of his games, he put up monster numbers. 260 plus on batting average, 350 plus on base. I expect George Springer, if he stays healthy and plays 140 games, and I think he will this year, I think they're going to be a bit more cautious. And so far, he's healthy in the spring. I can see George Springer putting up a season of a 270 to maybe 285 batting average, on base of 360 to 375, 35 to 40 home runs. Wow. And that's your leadoff hitter, guy. Plus, he plays excellent defense in center field. Now, on to left field. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Last year, at the All-Star break, please don't, these are not official numbers. He was hitting 100 with no home runs and 4 runs batted in. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration. But he got off to such a terrible start and then still ended the season with a decent batting average, an okay on base percentage, and more than 25 home runs. Or maybe it was 24, but about 25 home runs. I think a full season of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hitting in the 5 or the 6 spot, less pressure on him. I think this year he could very easily, and I see Gurriel as a possibility of a 300 hitter, but I'm going to say 290 on base at 340 with 30 home runs. And Gurriel is still, let's say, improving in the outfield. He takes interesting routes to the ball. Now people are like, what are you talking about? He's a great fielder. He's got like so many assists. Yes, he does. He's got tons of gun downs. Half of them are because, well, quite frankly, he misplays a ball. A player goes for an extra base, and he makes up for it with a great arm. So, you know, Lord, Lord, excuse me, sorry, you know the saying, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Well, so does Lourdes. All right, cool. All right, now the bench. I gotta say the bench is a lot better than last year. Like last year, we had Valera and other guys I didn't even know, but we got some guys that can get on base. In Cato, um, we got some guys who can field. In Reinald Tapia, and he can run. We got, you know, Kirk will come off the bench sometime, and then one of Biggio or Espinal will also come off the bench. And these guys are borderline starters. Well, they're platoon players, in my opinion. And that's the kind of guy you want off the bench, not the guy that's, sitting on his hands all week, but the guy who's already had 12, 13, 14, 15 at bats this week. And when he comes in to pinch hit, he still knows what a fastball looks like. All right, let's talk starting rotation. Last year, our starting rotation was our number one pitcher, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Number two, Ross Stripling. Number three, Tanner Roark. Number four, Trent Thornton. Number five, I don't even know who. Like our rotation last year was quite frankly, at the beginning of the season, was quite frankly a joke. The guy who started out as our number one is now essentially our number 3 or 4. And the guy who was our 2 is now our long man. The rest of the guys are barely on the team. And if they're on the team, it's only because of the expanded roster. If we didn't have 15 pitchers on the roster, Trent Thornton would not be on the roster. Our rotation now is Jose Barrios, Kevin Gosman, Alec the Flamethrower Manoa, and Hyun-Jin Ryu, and you say, I say Kikuchi. To me, that is one of the deepest rotations in all of baseball. Is it the most spectacular? Is it Scherzer and DeGrom? No, but Scherzer and DeGrom are injured and 100. Barrios pitches 190 innings every year he can. Kevin Gosman is only seemingly getting better with age. Alec Manoa could have been rookie of the year if he played all season last year. And I think he could be a 4 or 5 win pitcher this year. And that goes to say the same things for Barrios and Gosman. I think both of them could be 4 or 5 win players. Now, he's technically number 3 in our rotation, but I think he's our 4th best pitcher, Hyun-Jin Ryu. I think if we ask of him what he can do, go through the lineup twice, whether that's 5 or 6 innings, so be it. We got a deep bullpen. Hyun-Jin Ryu can go out there and throw 5 innings of junk ball and give up 1 or 2, maybe 3 runs, and keep the Jays in the game. Is he going to strike out a ton? Nah. Is he going to throw 200 innings? Nah. Is he going to but he's our fourth starter. Yeah, are we paying him $20 million a year? Yeah, IDGAF. That stands for I don't give a Franklin. Right? That's how the saying goes. And then our number five starter, I say Kikuchi. Now, this guy has shown flashes of being a top two or three pitcher in rotations. The first half of last year, he had a sub 4 ERA and was striking out well more than one an inning. I think with Pete, call me an Uber Walker, he could help Kikuchi, and I think this guy can have a sub 420 ERA for the season. I think Kikuchi could be one of the best number five starting pitchers in all the league. Now, compared to that last year's rotation, it's a lot better. It's a lot deeper. And we got some other guys that can step in and probably start. Trent Thornton, he ain't worse than Trent Thornton last year. Ross Stripling, he got better throughout the year. I wouldn't mind seeing him throw 5 or 6 once in a while. Nate Pearson, maybe. Thomas Hatch, maybe. Other guys in the minors like Anthony Kay. Like these guys aren't superstars, but they are depth. We're not going to be calling up dudes that are going to have a ERA of 8.36. That's what I really like about the Blue Jays rotation. All right. On to the Blue Jays bullpen. Now, I think the Blue Jays technically have 26 pitchers in their bullpen with Jimmy, don't call me, Yimi Garcia, Adam, we're calling Timber Simber, Tim Beza, Julian Matherware, Mary Weather, Trevor Richards, Jordan Romano, Ross Stripling, Trent Thornton, Taylor Saucedo, and a guy who I'm very high on this year, David Phelps. Now, we all know what happened with our bullpen last year with Chatwood and Hand and some other guys just blowing it, just totally imploding out there on the mound. Who are the weakest guys in the bullpen? Saucedo? Like, he's looking real good. Stripling, he's looking, good when healthy. The weakest guy is probably Trent Thornton. But let's be serial here. He's probably not on the team once the rosters go back to 26. I mean, Jordan Romano was our closer. Merriweather as the setup guy. Mesa and Garcia being the lefty, righty kind of guys. Dude, Richards was dominant. Simber was. I don't understand why people say the Toronto bullpen is a weakness. Does it have star recognition? No, it certainly does not. But I could see every single one of these guys, really. Saucedo, Romano, Richards, Phelps, Merriweather, Mesa, Garcia, and Simber. Those are probably the 7 or 8 we're going to see the most. I could see every single one of those guys having an ERA under 4, what other team in the major leagues of baseball that we love so much can say they're going to have 8 guys, possibly, with an ERA under 4? Now, I get it. Players, have bad times, get injured, whatever. But man, this team is deep. So, like, Thornton could be called up in case of an injury. Anthony Kay in case of injury. Thomas Hatch, again, in case of injury. But, and this isn't even talking about Mono Boy, Nate Pearson. Guys, if Nate Pearson was healthy and could put some consistency together, come out for 1, even 2 innings, throw the ball at 98, 99, just like Merriweather, just like Romano, and, put up an ERA of 2.86, 3.14, and with more strikeouts than innings pitched, definitely. So, guys, you've heard my prediction for all the players, what they're going to do. Here's my prediction for the regular season. I'm not going to predict playoffs and stuff. I'll do that if we get to the playoffs. Oh, another thing, too, why I'm going to give the Jays a great win-loss record prediction. We played half of our home games on the road last year. And when we played in Toronto, we won 66% of our games. Do I think we'll win 66% of our games at home? No, but maybe 62. And playing 41 home games, I am predicting that the Blue Jays have 99 wins, 63 losses, win the division by 2 games over the Tampa Bay Rays, and make the playoffs as the division winners. Guys, if you like the video, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment below, and if you watch this video before the 7th inning stretch, check me out on Twitter. My name on Twitter is at JustJays77. That's the year of our birth. And check it out. I got a contest. No, a giveaway going. If you are following me on Twitter and you retweet a certain tweet, you will be entered to win a Blue Jays hat giveaway. So do that. And yeah. So please like and comment. Guys, I'm sorry for the, quality of the video. I'm not actually in it. But I think Just Jays is going to be a fun channel for Jays fans. And thanks very much for joining me. We'll see you again next time. And as always, let's go Blue Jays.